Hey everyone, your designers are here.
I'm Anita with Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home. And we have tips and tricks and decorating advice for you. So let's get started. Welcome to episode 71. Entitled Deck the Halls, but this is not Christmas in July. Today we are being very clever and talking about hallway decor. Maybe an area that is sort of an afterthought or not even a thought or simply transitional. There are some things that you can do to make your hallway memorable and spectacular, or at least make it a place where you like to go from here to there.
Mm-hmm. Kelly, I have a little confession.
I love when you confess.
I know. I probably have the world's most boring hallway. It has really old wallpaper on it that you sort of can't see from the first floor, so I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm. But I am making it fabulous. We're in the process of doing that now.
Well, and the thing, I'm sure it's going to be gorgeous.
Yes. Just slip that in there. I'm sure.
I have to add that.
I have high hopes. I have high hopes.
Super uber gorgeous.
Right. Well, what I want to say is that it doesn't matter whether you've got a narrow hallway or a wide hallway. There's always something that you can do. Obviously, the bigger it is, the more you can do. But, sometimes you have a hallway like mine that has lots of doors in it. So there's not really a good place for me to put furniture. But we're going to be talking about things we can do. So.
Yeah, and there may be some things that you don't really want to do in a hallway, that make it a little more difficult to navigate. So there doesn't have to be
you don't want to
stuff everywhere.
Put a buffet in your narrow hallway.
You don't want to put a buffet.
I've seen people do it though.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm not declaring that tip of the day, but that is a tip. Don't put furniture in the way in the hallway.
No ding, 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 ding. Okay.
Not yet.
Not
you
yet.
Still get it.
Too early. Too early.
Oh, no, I'll give it to you. Tip of the day. Sure.
Oh, thank you.
And before we get going, we wanted to give a shout out to Home Decorators Collection. They are now, from what we understand, part of the Home Depot, which is near and dear to my heart. I really feel like I should have one of those orange aprons because I go there with my name in Sharpie on it because I go there so often. But
gotcha.
I love the Home Decorators Collection. I love them from way back when they sent out their catalogs. And I don't know if they still do that, but they are present in Home Depots, and I know we mentioned them during shades, blinds, and shutters. And if you remember, I was talking about the little rings that you can get for your curtains. And I even went back and got more packages. I took my own advice, and I think they're fantastic. But they have a lot of other things, like not just curtain rings and curtain rods. They have rugs. They have all sorts of things for your home, and very reasonably priced. So.
Well, can I tell a little story
about them? If you haven't thought about Home Decorators, go ahead. Oh, you have a story?
Well, I have a little one. Last time we were at Haven, which is a bloggers convention, Anita and I were invited to this little cocktail party. And they had the
Is this another party I wasn't invited to? Oh, yeah.
You weren't
now,
there
wait a minute.
last year.
Oh, that was the night
you weren't even there.
Yeah, eat in my room.
No, you weren't.
She's
even
already
there.
pouting, and she wasn't even there.
Hey, listen. Everywhere we go, you go. And vice
well, now
versa.
because I'm such a pest.
That's
Wait
right.
for me.
And hey, wherever we go, that's where the party's at.
Isn't that the truth? But anyway, we went up to this little party, and they had these 4 gorgeous chairs and this rug and this coffee table, like a little seating area, and we fell in love with the chairs.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Remember how beautiful they were?
Oh, yes.
And I'm thinking, who is this by? It's so high-end looking.
I know.
And it was Home Decorators. So, a big shout out to them, and thank you for the pretty seating area. Beautiful, beautiful product.
Well, if they are at Haven, I'm going to be looking for my cocktail that I'm owed. Wasn't at that last party, Home Decorators Collection. Okay. So anyway, let's just have a quick overview of of hallways that we currently have. I'm sure that everybody's had a hallway in their past and a hallway you've passed through and a transitional hallway in other houses. But let's focus on the hallways that we have right now, because I think based on what we've been sharing that we might cover a lot of territory in just our 3 hallways. So I'll start. Okay. My hallway in this house, when I came to think about it, I really only have one hallway. And it's upstairs and at the top of the stairs. And it has 4 doorways in it. And it's not very long at all. So it's very broken up and it's very narrow. If I do that, did you guys ever do that when you were little? If you put your hands up and you press against the side of the door frame and
you can lift up your feet,
elevate. Yeah. Did you ever do that? Like I remember doing that like over and over again. Like I was completely amazed at how that worked and why that worked. I'm still not
sure
why it does.
So you can touch both walls on the hallway at the same time?
Well, just I'm saying is a plus for my hallway. You can do this thing in my hallway, which is super
Way to
fun.
spin it positive.
Yeah, I mean everything is lemonade in my house. No lemons. But if you're waiting for someone to come out of the bathroom, you can do that little trick and your hands elevate.
I guess that's got to be good exercise for something.
It's probably good exercise if you squeeze all your other bits at the same time. But anyway, my hallway is very narrow. So my arms, which are not, really too long, I can't touch both walls. So I find that I am very limited. Now, I am thinking of things that I could do there to make it a little bit more interesting, but it's sort of riddled with doorways and it's super narrow.
Are your walls simply white?
My walls are simply white.
Okay. And your doors are simply white?
And my doors are simply white.
Okay.
Oh,
I was going to say that's a good thing. You just don't want a lot of contrast.
No. And I have very beautiful old original knobs, porcelain knobs with the pretty.
Do they all match?
No.
Oh, even more interesting.
They're a little bit different. Yeah. I mean, I know, but it probably at the, at a cursory glance, you would kind of think they're all sort of the same because the colors, they're all white porcelain, but the other bits. So what I did for now is I planked the ceiling because I can't stop planking things.
Oh, wow.
And I used,
and
again,
when you say
I must say I'm a little jealous over that.
Wait a minute. When you say you planked them, does that mean you
Bobby came over and did it.
I'm going to have a big talk with Bobby when he gets home tonight. And not because he's at your house. It's because he's planking and not planking here.
Exactly. You can plank, but you have to plank at home.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
No, so I know I didn't plank it, but I did have someone plank it for us. And it really, again, I bought that. You probably think I have stock in this product at Lowe's, but that's what we used. And I should have brought stock in Lowe's because I spent so much money on various things there. But the planks are so cheap. I think probably it was 2 or 3 packs for my narrow, not even that long.
You're going to include a link for these, aren't you? Because
I have over and over again. It's the
I missed it.
Ever True.
Okay,
that's right.
Packs. Anyway, and then we painted them simply white and did a nice molding on them, and that really went a long way to making the hallway interesting.
Now, what kind of lighting though do you have in your hallway?
Okay, excellent. I was just going to talk about that. Okay, now you may have remembered I talked about those old-fashioned school lights.
Yes.
Okay, that I was able to find at my local Osh, that's Orchard Supply Hardware, for like total of
I just think $10. I have a little crush on Mr. Osh now.
I know.
Because you keep telling us how wonderful Osh is, your Osh hardware. And
my Osh hardware
I have a little crush on that.
Yes. Or a little crush on the buyer who's doing a really nice job there. But so it's that old fashioned school light. And then it has an antique bronze, brassy looking holder. So that's really simple because I didn't want to go too crazy because I did go a little crazy. It's a big farmhouse glam statement in a light fixture that hangs in the staircase landing, which you can see because the staircase landing leads to this short hallway. And that one is a little jazzy. It's very small metal chain and 3 tiers.
Oh.
And I just have one
picture this
bulb in it. And I got that from One's Kings Lane. It's pretty fabulous. And it's kind of this muted metal. It's very cool.
Well, are your ceilings tall?
The ceilings are pretty high there, but not, probably 9 feet. They're not super tall. But anyway, that's my hallway. And I find for myself that it is too narrow to put any art or pictures. I was thinking initially, I thought I'm going to do a nice gallery wall there, just some simple, maybe family, black and white, something like that. But you wouldn't even necessarily appreciate them unless you plastered yourself up against the other wall.
Right. When it's narrow, it's hard to get far enough back to even see the art.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking, honestly, like, but literally, if you were over a little on one side, your shoulders would be nudging the frames all the time.
But so your ceiling treatment makes up for everything else.
So that's what I did.
Because it sounds so beautiful, and that you kept everything the same color. Like if you wanted to paint it yellow, I would not want to say, hey, you want to paint your doors that too. Right. But I think in a hallway that if you have a lot of doors, you should try to keep everything the same color.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know that I did that. But.
That's
isn't this interesting? Isn't this what makes the podcast go round? What did you do, Anita?
Well, and we don't really have a foyer downstairs. So I have 2 hallways, the upstairs one and the downstairs. The hallway is really in place of a foyer, but I have the agreeable gray on the wall, which is a very soft gray. And then I have the eider white on the trim, but I have lots of great trim because it's a Craftsman style home. So there's a nice header above each door. And then I have the French style doors. They're solid wood doors, and they're kind of got an arch on them, but the doors are painted the Pussy Willow gray, which is a darker gray, the white trim, and then the soft gray walls.
Well, it's all very really neutral. Yummy. That sounds beautiful.
It's very neutral. And then I have crystal knobs with a pewter plate. And
Stop it. That's a beautiful hallway.
And it's right.
There.
So I have a few pieces of artwork there. It's plenty wide. So it's a brand new house. So the hallway is plenty wide. We're not dealing with an old build that, you're already stuck with the
Did you just call me an old build?
Your home has an old build.
I'm an old but sexy build, darling.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I have some artwork on the walls, but that's, I'm trying to think what I've done. The upstairs hallway, I'm sure you've both seen it. I have those old corbels with the patinaed piece of barnwood. It's an old piece of wood that has the paint kind of chipping off. And then the tin ceiling, the antique Victorian ceiling tiles on the wall as artwork above that. So I put some things on that shelf, but it's really not big enough to put any furniture there. And so that is a nice thing. If your hallway is wide enough, you can put a shelf there. And then you're not taking up any footprint on the floor. But still, you have to make sure you've got room to walk past that. Right. Sure. And you're not going to whack into it.
Your hallways sound really nice, but you can't do that really fun arm thing. Right. So
no, I can't.
You can't touch the walls.
I think a plank ceiling trumps everything.
That's a drawback.
Oh, I love that.
All right. So you can play games in my hall. But Anita's hallways are beautiful. Yvonne, tell us.
I have 2 hallways. I have what we call the mud room. It's really not a mud room. It's a mud hallway. But we had a mud room in our second house, the house that we had before this, and it was a legit mud room. So we just, every time you come to the garage, it's through the garage to the house. It's always a mud room, and it's painted totally different than the rest of our house. It's a deep tan, and it comes right into the kitchen. And then I have a mirror there, and on one side and the other side is closets. A big closet that you can put coats in and what have you. But I have a mirror, and then I have this very funky artwork. Definitely would not go in any other part of my house. It's from a DC artist that I just love. Well, I shouldn't say that. I have a picture in the living room that's from Daniel Kessler as well. But the pictures in the hallway are almost like folk arty. They're really different, and I collect them. So they're all hung all over, and I've got a horizontal coat rack. And it has like a basket that we can put, our keys and this and that in. So that's a fun hallway. And I can get away with
really
it.
Great.
Yeah, because it's just a fun, small space.
But also really functional with the place for the hooks and the keys.
Oh,
and
yeah,
all of
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. It is. And we have just a nice closet that we keep our coats in. Plus, the one side is just for cleaning supplies and has shelves and things like that. And then I have an upstairs hallway that is opened to the foyer. So it's open on one side. It has a banister. And that's pretty wide, but I wouldn't put anything because there's a bathroom and 4 bedrooms open to it. And that they're just painted. My doors are painted white. And right now I'm replacing my old doorknobs with some really pretty brushed nickel done like in a like almost like a latch. But what I love about our upstairs is all of my doors have transom windows above it, like an old farmhouse.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So we get a lot of light coming in from there.
Nice.
And I did have wallpaper on it. I still do. And I'm going to prime that and put that repositional wallpaper up. But I'm really trying to decide if maybe I want to do board and batten and then wallpaper.
Oh, that would be gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. And then wallpaper the little area on my stairs going up my stairs. That they're just the same wallpaper as
pull it all
the
together.
Upstairs. Yeah.
Well, I think a little podcast fairy told me we're going to be talking about wallpapers soon.
We are in a couple more we'll do.
Yeah, so hang on there.
Mm-hmm. So that's how it looks now.
Ideas.
And we just have the like the canned lights that are up in the ceiling. And we have one that's positioned because I used to have a big piece of artwork there. And if I don't go the board and batten route, I'll probably do all the wallpaper. And I'd like to put a gallery of white frames and black and white all family pictures up there. Because being a blogger, I don't have a lot of family pictures laying around, around my house. Because then if I photograph it, I have to remember to take it all down. Because I just, there's my children and now my little baby grandchildren, they really need some element of privacy, So, and I tried to give them that. And one of my children, they're very fussy about their child not being shown to the public. So I try to, I thought, well, that would be a really great place to put all that.
Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh, so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT.
That's a great idea.
And of course I have pictures in my bedroom, but my hallway is wide and airy and it has some character to it.
Well, I think that's what we're talking about too. If your hallway has some character, which it sounds like all three of ours has some sort of infrastructure character to it, whether it's old or you put it in or these transom windows or you do something interesting with the functional elements like the knobs and latches and things like that, that can go a long way to really decorate this functional transitional space. I don't necessarily in my house, I'm not going to I have no room to put anything, but I'm not going to create a destination or,
right.
Or even create a sort of a console area or anything. I don't want things left in my hallway either because, the horizontal surface is just an invitation to leave your stuff, to everyone in my house.
Right. Yes, but, with a narrow hallway, I think if you really wanted to add some interest and you didn't have room to do much else, I think you could do some wallpaper there.
I think it's a great place for wallpaper and even wallpaper the ceiling. I'm all about, looking up and doing something interesting in the ceilings. So,
well, how about your silver treatment that you did on the ceiling?
That'd be
your daughter's room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
that would be nice.
That would be pretty spectacular in a hallway, especially if you had a little one that was a little bit longer than mine. And maybe you could have the 3 lights, and if you had some pretty even flush mounts or little lanterns or something like that, and you did painted it in a metallics or painted it just in a really great accent color, could be really fun.
Well, I'm thinking
just a little pop.
I'm thinking of taking, because one of our canned lights is actually it's called like a half eye, where it's positioned so it shines on the wall for artwork. And then I've got a couple others. They're symmetrical on either side. I'm thinking about you can get a kit and convert that. And I'm thinking about doing high hanging but big drum lights.
Ooh, that'd be pretty.
I just thought that would look really nice up there.
I think those conversion kits really work too.
They do. Yes, absolutely. I've done that several times in my house.
Well, and I just went clean with the canned lights, but I think you could do some beautiful pendants if you wanted to in the hallway, especially if you had a nice tall ceiling.
Now, our back hall doesn't need it, but I think our hallway upstairs could really use it. It's a long hallway. It's wide. It's very open. So I think I could do something a little more dramatic there. It's not closed in at all.
So do you have any chairs or consoles or anything in
It's not that wide. And I did have a console at the top of my stairs. It could easily, like a small buffet thin, and it could really handle that. But I don't anymore. And actually I have a grandfather clock up there that my husband gave me for a birthday when we were first married. And it just doesn't go anywhere, but I hate to get rid of it because it's so sentimental. And I'm thinking about painting it.
Or if you're driving by Yvonne's house,
no,
you need to know what time it is.
No, I could never put that out. No, that has to stay.
Okay.
And so that's at the top of the stairs right now. And it's really beautiful, but it just doesn't go with anything in my house now.
Yeah, our in-laws had one that we inherited, and I don't know if we sold it or gave it away.
And I love to hear the chimes. So for a couple years now, I've been thinking, do I paint it? What do I do with it? And I actually have a very small back hall connecting. We have a second set of stairs that go up from my study, and you could another front door actually that comes into my study, and you can go up these back stairs, and it connects our master bedroom and sitting area with another bedroom and bathroom. And I was thinking, well, maybe I could put that just up in that hall.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't get to see it that often. So I'm not quite sure. But anyway.
That might be good.
Yeah. So right now I have a grandfather clock sitting there sort of looking at me. Every time I walk up the stairs, I go, oh, I know, it sits there. And also I think it's really nice if you have the space, if you have to put a mirror, if you have the space.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Cause it just opens that up and brings more light.
Yeah. Anytime you can add a mirror, I think that's a great idea too. I can't really because of it would just be weird.
It's too narrow.
Right.
Too narrow. But at the end is a doorway to the third floor room that's upstairs. So if that doorway wasn't there and that room didn't exist, I would probably put a fabulous mirror there and maybe even a small, I wouldn't even really call it a bench. It would be more like a little settee or something like that, or an exaggerated poof. I guess it really wouldn't be as long as a bench, that could be a little bench.
Like a vanity bench.
Like a bench. Exactly. What do you call those? A bench for one, a vanity bench. Exactly. Because I think that's nice. And that creates such a destination for your eye, not necessarily for your derriere or your person or, your backpack, but just something that you can look at as you're coming up the staircase. So I was thinking of doing even maybe a mirror over that door.
I think you could.
You think so?
I think you could put a mirror or some artwork on the door.
Well, it's funny that you say that because when I first purchased those palette paintings from Jennifer Lane,
I think that would be perfect. I love, but I would put some museum putty behind it so it doesn't clank against
so it doesn't swing, right? Mm-hmm. But those are so light because they're on the balsa wood. So, and I had bought two because I bought one for me and one for my mom, but I would have needed another one for the 3 bedrooms, and then the bathroom door is different because that has
and I think that would be cute to maybe even have a chalkboard, and then you can name the rooms and then you write it on the board.
Maybe I could do a chalkboard.
Oh, how cute is that? Yeah.
That's kind of a sweet idea. Yeah, because I had the palette paintings and I was holding them on the door and I was like, they're going to be crooked. They're going to be crazy when they open and shut the doors. It has to be something I have to straighten. But yeah, the more I think about it, you're right. I didn't think of chalkboard.
I think that would make it charming.
You guys have really good decorating ideas.
Hey, I've heard we do.
How about runners? Does anyone have a runner or carpeting?
I do.
Well, I don't, but I was just going to say, I think that's a great idea, especially again, if you have a hallway that is too small to put artwork on the wall or put any furniture in there. What a great way to add interest, pattern, detail to the room by just texture by putting that long runner in there.
And if you have carpeting, you can always add it over your existing carpeting.
Yeah.
And that would look really beautiful and layered. And also, if you don't, like we don't, we can, I don't know, I guess our hallway just reverberates sound. It's noisy. So I have a long runner. I am going to replace it though with a long sisal runner.
That's true. I never really considered that because one of my daughters is I won't mention which one of the two, but her name starts with a letter right in the beginning of the alphabet. That one.
That one, yes.
A slammer. She said, can you just not slam the door? I didn't slam the door, but she slams the door and day and night, and she has to come down to use the bathroom. Slam, 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 slam. So I have absolutely no fabric there and no
everything
carpet.
Is so loud at 3 in the morning.
It just reverberates. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my daughter said, "Did you? I had to at 3 in the morning. Go do this." And we said, "Yeah, we know. We heard it all.
We know it all. We know all the details."
Get a runner and put a rug pad under it.
Yeah, or a lock, or just lock them in.
Put a lock on the outside. That's right.
Exactly. We'll let you out at 7. How about this as an idea? If you are a bit wider than my hallway.
Now are you calling me wide?
I didn't mention any names.
I was going to let that totally go.
Just anyone in general. If you're wider than my hallway, you might get stuck. Don't go upstairs. Now, if you have a wider hallway than my skinny little hallway, but it's still a hallway, right? I mean, how wide could it be unless you're in Versailles or something? You can't really necessarily put a table or something, but you could put a shell or a piece of wood that's kind of more shelf-like and maybe use some beautiful corbels that you...
Well, that's what I did.
Mind reader.
I did.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's a good idea. Or you could get a table at, I've done this before, not in this house, but a table at, a thrift store, something that you don't care about, and you saw it in half.
I've seen that.
And you just use
Attach
two
it
of
to
the
the wall.
legs and you attach it to the wall.
If you have a very narrow hallway, I think the best thing to do is just leave it alone. And I love what you did.
Don't do it.
I love that it's all white. It's just
no
perfect.
artwork though on the walls.
If it's very narrow.
Right
very narrow. Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Very narrow. Right. Leave it alone. I love that you've painted your doors white, your hall white, and that you've
love this
planked
validation.
The ceiling. Oh, that ceiling is driving me crazy. I want to do that. And then just put something
Bobby did a great job. He'll do
on
it
the
at your
floor.
House.
Just a beautiful runner.
I think that's what I need, Yvonne. I need a runner.
Well, and if you need more, then you can do the wallpaper if you feel like you. Yeah, I think it's
just not going to work with the wallpaper with me. It's too like, where do you stop? Then it keeps going down the hall. It's like there's no natural stop the way my house is set up.
When I do my wallpaper, I'm just wallpapering our big long wall, just one wall.
I see.
One wall.
Because my hallway is long, and there's on one side there's 2 doors that go around a corner, and the other side there's 3 doors, which is 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. So there is there's like little flanges that go off.
Right. So there's a stopping point for you.
So the one wall is a perfect stopping point. And I'll just do the one wall or board and batten the one wall but then I might have to, if I put wallpaper above that, I just might have to wallpaper the rest of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it looks fine. But the wallpaper I'm choosing has a lot of white space.
Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfast, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, and this is where I think doorknobs come into into view too. I mean, when you have a narrow hallway or a small hallway with not a lot else going on, that's when you're really going to notice those doorknobs. So that might be something that you could do to really spruce it up. Or you can paint the doors a color if you want to add a little splash of color to the hallway.
Yeah, it just depends. For me, it just depends on how many doors you have, because I actually had a room at one time that was off my family room, and I had like 6 doors in a row. And I just wanted to rip out those doors and blow holes into the walls, and it just drove me insane. So the least I call attention to that, the better I feel about that. That's just how I feel. Now, what you did is kept it very neutral, and that sounds gorgeous.
Well, again, I think it depends on the woodwork and the doors that you have, because the color is going to draw attention to the doors. So in some cases, you might want attention drawn to the doors. If the doors are very plain, I would want them to kind of fade away.
Right.
Into oblivion.
And also it depends if you have stained trim. That makes a big difference too, because that'll definitely show your openings.
So we've kind of covered this in some other episodes, but this is a case where you can add trim to the doors, change out your hardware, and that's going to change the look of the hallway.
I think you're right. I think hardware is such a big deal in a hallway. And if you're like me, you have most of your doors have the right latches. The others don't. I have to go buy a couple more yet to put on there so they all match. I had brass on, but I went over to like a brushed nickel.
So I guess what we're all saying is, even if it's a little more narrow or a little wider or a little longer, a little shorter, if you highlight the functionality in a beautiful way, then your hallway is lovely, whether it's decorated or not. And it will obviously serves a purpose. And it's really just, it's kind of like a train station. You're coming through and in. No one's spending a whole lot of time there. So if you can't add any sort of benches or consoles or chairs or anything, just highlight what you've got going on there that is useful, the doorknobs, the moldings, the frames, and make those beautiful.
And that's right, because you want that part of your house just to be as lovely as the rest of your house.
Right.
And it can be very understated.
Spot. Yeah.
I think you very well said.
And have some fun on the ceiling.
Yes. Well, we're done for today, and we hope that you've gotten some ideas about how to make your hallway a beautiful part of your home. So remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Hey there. If you're loving our podcast like we're loving our podcast, we would love you to rate and review us. Head to iTunes to do that. It's easy, and it would mean so much to us. And if you do rate and review us, we're going to enter you to win a fantastic giveaway. The details for the giveaway are in the show notes for this episode, and you can find the show notes at decoratingtipsandtricks.com.